If you are a gig worker, chances are you're working more hours today and making less money than you did a few years ago. And most people have no idea what's really happening behind these apps. For years, gig workers across every platform have put in long days, early mornings, late nights, weekends, and holidays. And during that time, many have watched pay go down, costs go up, and the rules change without workers ever being part of the conversation. Gig work was sold as freedom, flexibility, opportunity. But what many are living today is something very different. Algorithms now control income. Pay changes without explanation. Expenses rise, risk increases. Unfair deactivations happen without real due process. And because gig workers are all classified as independent contractors, they are isolated by design. No break rooms, no coworkers, no real representation. Just millions of people dealing with the same problems alone. And that isolation is not an accident. It makes it easier for corporations to ignore workers, easier to replace them, and easier for unfair pay and unfair conditions to slowly become normal. But it has also made it easier for policymakers to look the other way. While gig workers struggle, powerful corporations spend millions lobbying governments, shaping laws, and protecting business models that depend on cheap, replaceable labor. Decisions are being made about livelihoods by corporations and government officials who rarely sit down with the people doing the work. At the same time, technology is accelerating. Autonomous vehicles, artificial intelligence, and automation are entering this marketplace. Innovation is not the enemy. Technology is not the problem. But workers being exploited through technology is a problem. Algorithms are being used to gamify these apps, to psychologically pressure workers, to disguise real pay, and to push people into accepting lower and lower offers without transparency. That is not innovation. That is exploitation. That's why this movement exists. This is the gig economy Me Too movement. Gig economy Me Too. Because across every platform, drivers, delivery workers, shoppers, couriers, freelancers, and contractors are saying the same thing. Me too. I see it. I feel it. I'm living it. If you are a gig worker, this is an invitation to raise your voice. Share your story. Show your numbers. Talk about what has changed. Talk about unfair deactivations. Talk about what feels hidden. Talk about what fair gig pay and fair gig conditions would actually mean. Post a video. Post a photo. Write a message. Use these hashtags. Gig economy Me Too, fair gig pay, fair gig conditions. This is not about one company. This is about an entire system. A system where corporate power, political decisions, and technological control shape income, while the workers themselves are left out of the room. All platforms, all gig workers, one national voice. Gig workers are not disposable. Gig workers are not invisible. And gig workers are done being excluded from decisions that control their livelihoods. This is a call not only to the companies, but to policymakers across the nation. See gig workers, hear gig workers, sit down with gig workers. Fair gig pay and fair gig conditions are not luxuries, they are necessities. If you felt the squeeze, the silence, the fear of deactivation, the pressure of algorithms, or the uncertainty of what automation will bring, this is your movement. Speak, share, unite. Gig economy Me Too, fair gig pay, fair gig conditions. Let's make gig workers impossible to ignore.